Hey everybody, Snipertheladiesman here, and welcome to another channel update. So, I know that with the time that I've been spent away from YouTube here, as maybe some people confused, maybe it's been, well, it's been longer than maybe people have expected, or it's actually been longer than even, well, I expected too. So, a couple things that I want to kind of bring up here. Number one, basically being, I have been uploading stuff, maybe not every other day basis that I usually do, but every 4 or 5, maybe once a week sort of thing. Now, these aren't exactly just my videos. These are the collaboration videos with me and another fellow YouTuber, Kid Fox, which I will actually, if I can remember, future me, to put a timestamp or just the his channel in the description below, so you can look up that. But mostly we do have been doing Let's Endures of one of the most popular and sought after series on YouTube today, and possibly since the last 3-4 years or so, maybe even a little bit longer than that. The This Is How You Don't Play series, which for those people who don't know, which chronicalizes the fails, and even more fails and stupid stuff that Darkside Phil or DSP Gaming, or the way that I love the most, Philly Boy, just to show how awful he is at games and how stupid he can be with what he says. He said a lot of stupid stuff, which has basically gained him the title of possibly most hated YouTuber on, well, YouTube. Or I guess I should have said most hated YouTuber ever. That would have been better. But so we've been doing our Let's Endure of that, where we actually sit down, we watch the This Is How You Don't Play video, give our commentary on it, our live reactions, our live commentary to what is going on. And for the most part, it's actually been really fun. There's been a lot of salt from both of us, either from games that I deeply love and keep to my heart, and games that Kid Fox has loved as well. But and actually, if I can also remember, feature me to put a link in the description for the playlist of our This Is How You Don't Play Let's Endure stuff, which, for anybody who's wondering, if you've ever wanted to see our reactions to, and again, this is only for people who actually care, to such games such as Jak and Daxter, Spider-Man on the PS1, that is one of his very infamous one, Final Fantasy X, game that I personally love, Kingdom Hearts Parts 1 and 2, Let's Endure of Kingdom Hearts 2, another game that I absolutely love. Well, I mean, the entire series of Kingdom Hearts is a big one for me. Such stuff as watching every DSP Tries It video, and in the so-called, quote, unhealthy lifestyle series. And we are still continuing on with the Let's Endure of Darkside Phil doing his Final Fantasy VI playthrough, or 3, depending on whichever way you look at it. I guess it's 6 for United States, 3 technically for Japan, but whatever, they're the same game, supposedly. I don't know, that whole thing's confusing. Anyways, So if you're interested in seeing such stuff like that, there's a few other ones I haven't mentioned, and there's still a few that we still have to do, or that I still have to upload myself. So that's what's kind of been being put up for the time being. Now, again, this isn't just like it's my own content. It's a shared content between two individuals like us. So we will definitely be continuing through that, and Kid Fox, if you actually are watching this, I will remember sometime to actually upload the rest of the videos to Dropbox so that you can download them and so on. So just I'll contact you later. All right. So next is kind of what's the stability of the channel and what's going to happen if I'm actually going to come back and do my normal usual Let's Play stuff. I am. The main reason was I personally needed to take some time off. It wasn't anything YouTube wise that it was getting stale, or I don't know, just anything like that. It's just I had to kind of just like step away for a little bit, kind of just go through just some personal stuff. So it was kind of unexpected, but not as unexpected as my couple month or so away back in mid-November and December. That was due to actual medical emergency. This one has been going on longer than that previous one, and it's more just been personal, just like, well, nothing's really happening, like nothing. It's just stuff in my head. If anybody can kind of understand, it's stuff in my head and what I'm kind of thinking of, and of just stuff. It's just stuff in my head that I have to get through. And for the most part, I am. I would say probably from like about a week ago, which I'm recording this on the same day that I'm going to be uploading this, on the 13th of June, which is actually the day right after my birthday. My birthday's on the 12th. So, what I was actually going to do originally was probably come back sometime like in the beginning of June, but that didn't happen, mainly because I actually kind of lost track of time and stuff, and time was just kind of flying by. Before I knew it, it's almost the middle of June. Like it's been going by way too fast to even comprehend sometimes. But when it comes to me now coming back, that would be that is definitely going to be a very near thing. It's going to happen very soon. Problem is, I don't know when exactly. It does also depend on how much time I'm able to get to actually do these videos, and how much time I'm going to have to edit as much editing as I actually need to, which is thankfully not that much. But yeah, it's just it'll be soon, which I do have a couple things about that. I will be continuing with Indigo Prophecy. I know I left that game kind of at a standstill, and it was getting to a really heated part, if I remember, because I believe Lucas and I cannot remember the girl's name at this point, because it's been 2 months since I played it. Yeah, it's definitely been 2 months since I played it, so I kind of forget her name, but the two there where I believe we're about to meet up, or we're possibly going to meet up. So I know it was kind of into a heated point, and I'm thoroughly enjoying the game. As there are some parts of it that I'm really interested in, and some parts that are just over the top wacky and kind of silly, which I guess, like, I don't know, it's kind of it's kind of refreshing to kind of see something like that like it can be both serious but then kind of make it where the goofy stuff is trying to be serious at the same time, but it kind of comes off just even more goofy. So I will be coming back with that. When it comes to future stuff, I do actually have plans to actually start up another playthrough, which will actually be another PlayStation 4 playthrough. Now, I don't really know if I should really spoil anything at this point, because I do want it to be a little bit of a surprise, but this is kind of what I'll give. To most people, this is a game that is very underrated. When it first came out, it did not sell well. As far as I remember, it kind of tanked when it first came out. Until then, it's gotten a lot of popularity, and I believe a year ago or so, there was even talk of, there was even notion of a sequel being made, as long as it was funded through the fans and whatnot. And I don't know if I try to go any further with that, it would kind of spoil it. But basically, I guess I'll kind of leave it at that. I do want to hint at it being a little bit bit of a secret. But this is a game that I've actually never played, so it will be a blind run, a blind start for the most part. I mean, I have seen technically the whole game, but it's been like, here and there, and like, it's been edited up, so I don't really know like exactly what happens from one point to another. So but I've been looking forward probably the last year and a half to 2 years since I started to really hear a lot about it. So I've been looking forward to playing it myself. And okay, I'll leave it at this one last thing. It just recently came out on PS4, on the PS2 to PS4 section. So it was previously a PS2 game being ported over with HD visuals, trophy support, which again, for anybody who knows me, I love my trophies. So I guess I'll leave it at that. Yeah, I guess I'll probably leave it at that. So whenever I get done Indigo Prophecy, I will probably start up that next game, which should be a little bit of a change of pace, especially going to an actual playing a PS2 game. I'm not saying that it's hard. I'm not saying it's hard to set up or hard to record, but sometimes my recording software likes to kind of blink on and off, and when it does that, it won't capture either the sound or the visuals or both. I've had that happen a couple times, not particularly through Indigo Prophecy, but I've had it blink on me a couple times and kind of screw up a recording. So I've had to either redo it or, just kind of scrap it and say, do it another time, anything like that. So yeah, so that new game will start up once I come back and once I finish Indigo Prophecy, which, if I kind of had to imagine, I'm maybe like halfway through or so, considering every video is roughly like, 25 to 28 minutes. So basically every video is almost about half an hour each, which again, I don't try to make it that long. It's just sometimes it happens. Um, God, I want to say that there was something else I was going to talk about. Um, I don't think it was anything having to do with another particular game because at the moment there's actually not much that I'm personally playing. Well, I've jumped back from about 5 days ago. I've jumped back into Fallout 4 after playing the game only for about 5 hours 5 months ago. So when I got the game for Christmas, I started playing it. I played it for about 5 hours or so, and for some reason I was having fun, but for some reason it wasn't clicking, and it was a combination of the game not exactly clicking with me at first, and me just kind of being, well, look, I have a bunch of other games to get to. This game will suck away my life as I know it. So let me hold this off and do it later. So 5 days ago, and it's funny how there's been so many fives, but 5 days ago I came back to this, and I've not played anything since, and I've gone on almost like 12 hour, like 10 to a 12 hour gameplay bursts where I just play Fallout 4 and for like 10, 12 hours straight. It kind of get a little bit ridiculous at times. So that's really the only thing that I'm currently playing. But when it comes to the new stuff for the channel, again, I have a couple ideas. I can always resort back to going back on one of the polls and checking off another one of the games and being like, hey, this one seems like it would be fun to do now. Since I actually don't really buy too many brand new games, mainly because, well, in actuality, it's not even a money. It's not even. It's a little bit of a money issue. Well, no, it's only a money issue, because in a perfect world, I would buy almost every new game that came out, every mainstream game that came out every week, in a perfect world. But it definitely is a money issue. Not only just me not having a ton of money at the moment, but also games costing a ton of money. Now, for some people who may not know, where new games are $60, just about everywhere else, states, I'm not entirely sure, but the UK, I think theirs is slightly different. I'm not entirely certain. If someone wants to correct me about that, how the UK pounds works compared to United States money and like Canada, feel free to post that, because I'd actually be interested in knowing how games cost over there. But with me living in Canada my entire life, games over here for some reason have gotten more expensive, just because our dollar just sucks at the moment. So for any brand new game, well, oddly enough, it's only the mainstream stuff. So, but if a smaller game comes out and it gets released for $20 and it says for the States, it's not like it's $40 for us. No, it's still $20 for us. But it's the mainstream games, that are coming out, the AAA titled ones that have a lot of, millions of dollars pushed into. Those are the games that, for some reason, in the United States they're 60, and in Canada they're 80. Yes, 80. It's pretty shocking, actually, how quickly that can rack up in payments. Especially, like, I've had to be very picky on what I buy recently. So when it comes to new games, nothing at the moment is interesting to me. I've been keeping that game very low on what I exactly purchase, what I do kind of play. But usually, if there's a sale and it brings the game down to like half price, chances are I'm gonna grab it up. Depending on what it is and if I've had any interest in it. So, I think that seems to be about it. A little bit of a ramble at the end there. Yeah, I think that seems to be just about it of what I wanted to talk about. The Let's Endure stuff, me coming back and what's to expect. Um, and yeah, I'm still tossing around ideas of what to do along with that. And then my ramble on what games are going on today. Um, oh, now, okay, a very last quick thing. Since this is the Monday, still going on with E3 right now. I'll be watching the Microsoft, Ubisoft, and Sony press conferences today. I didn't see the EA and Bethesda one last night. EA's because my laptop wasn't working, but when I found out, there was literally nothing. There was sports, first person shooters, sports, and more sports. So EA's, you didn't miss much. Bethesda's, few games here and there, but nothing really that I'm jumping out of my seat going, oh my god, this is crazy. So I'll be watching the other ones. Yes, even Microsoft's, even though I'm a Sony guy, I'm a Sony guy to my grave. But I will be watching that one, seeing more or less, I guess, seeing what happens. So that should be fun. And if now I've said this for a couple of years now, but if there is something extremely interesting out there that I want to do an actual reaction to, or a separate video, just being like, these are my points on it. This is how I feel about the, this conference altogether. What games I'm excited for. What games I wish I had more information about them. Anything like that. It all depends, because I'm not, because like I kind of feel like if it's just gonna be all negative and just gonna be like, well, nothing really happened, so just gonna toss it away and like, not really care about it. Like if I were to do a video on the EA press conference, as I just said, I summed it up: sports, first person shooters, sports. That was it. So I summed it up in 5 seconds. I don't have to do a whole video of it. But if something does kind of surprise me, I'm always hopeful, and it's probably bad, but I'm always hopeful for Sony to jump out and shock us and kind of either surprise us with a brand new IP, a brand new game, a sequel to a game that maybe a little bit of crowd of people have really wanted, or a lot of people have wanted for many years. And for me personally, it's a couple games actually. I'm very hopeful that possibly we will see a new Spyro game. Now, I'm not talking about that Skylanders stuff, because I want that to just go away, please. Because it's been on like what, 5 games or something, or they're heading towards 5 games or 6 games. I don't know, but it had me some interested in it, and then at the point after I just kind of gave up on, didn't even bother thinking of getting them. But I want an actual new Spyro game, and hell, that can even be just an HD remake of Spyro the Dragon on PlayStation 1. Now, I'm not saying just an HD version, like it's just, HD polished up like they do with the collections and stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actual rebuilt from the ground up, with, how games can be made today. Kind of like what they're doing with Final Fantasy VII, the new one that Square Enix is doing. They're building, as far as I know, they're building that game almost from the ground up, but it's going to keep the same, it's probably going to keep like the same story, the same, similar atmosphere, but the gameplay and stuff is going to be, how it looks and the gameplay is going to be changed up. That's kind of what I want to have in a new Spyro game. I'm personally very hopeful for a sequel to Alpha Protocol. Now, Alpha Protocol, I actually have a little bit of a history with Alpha Protocol. That was actually one of the first games I've ever done for YouTube. It was, I believe, I juggled Alpha Protocol between Slide 2 and Slide 3. And I'm not even kidding, not one, not two, but 3 times I stopped Alpha Protocol, continued one of the Slide games, and then realized, oh yeah, I was playing Alpha Protocol, and jumped back into it. So, I juggled that game 3 different times. I love the game. I really do. I liked what they were going for. It's just, it's kind of, I guess it's kind of unfortunate that it didn't really catch on and didn't really sell well. But actually, I guess I should have been saying that about Bethesda, because Bethesda was the one I believe who made it, or at least published it. So maybe I guess I should say that I should be hopeful that Bethesda would announce it, but obviously they didn't. But again, that's why these are hopeful, wishful thinkings kind of thing. To like, if they want to really shock me, don't just announce a random new game that, oh hey, it looks pretty, great. No, it's like if they want to actually shock me personally, announce these games that I'm listing off. So with those two, I am very hopeful for a new, either a sequel or a remake to Legend of the Dragoon. I'm very hopeful on that one. I want there to be something new of that game. Because, I mean, the transformations in it, in the game on PS1, I think sold it for me. They're still creative and just fun to see, and I can only imagine how they could possibly look nowadays. It's beyond even my imagination how they could look now. Honestly, it's that crazy. But I would really, really want for there to be another game of that. And finally, I guess I would like to see a new Sly Cooper game. I mean, the movie is, as far as I know, is either being held on hold or still in or starting up development or something. But it's been over 2 years since we saw the teaser trailer for it. And I'm really looking forward to not only seeing the movie, but also what happens to the games. Since Sanzaru decided to make the 4th one, but kind of completely scrap it and say, well, we're done with it. We're not going to make any more. But leave it off with an ending that leads to something more. Like, it makes no sense to me, and it personally pissed me off that that's what they did. So either I'm hopeful that Sucker Punch picks the game back up, since, I mean, chances are they're not doing anything. They're not doing a new Infamous game. I've heard they're making a new Spider-Man game or something, or that's a rumor, or that'd be kind of interesting to keep my eye on if that's anything, that'd be kind of interesting to keep my eye on for Sanzaru doing a new Spider-Man game. But I would want either Sucker Punch or somebody else to pick up the Sly Cooper license, and maybe if it's going to be in time for the movie, remake the story, start from the beginning again, where possibly the movie's going to start from. It's going to start from Sly 1's storyline. As much as I don't want that story to be just retold again and then, in a whole new series, I like the direction that they're going with, that they were going with 4, and when they left it off, it just kind of it surprised me, and also it kind of pissed me off. But that's just me being a really super fan of the Sly games. Oh, all right. So since I've been talking for 30 minutes now, which I'm sorry if I may have bored you with some of it, especially the last 10 or so. But I think that is definitely now it. I at times want to give my whole perspective on what is going on with the channel, what's going on recently with gaming and stuff like that. So, thank you everybody for listening, and I guess I will see you all when I come back. In due time, I guess in due time. So, see ya.